Hold on, I'm getting the audio or the video going first.
You're tuned in to WPGP Digital Radio, Augusta, Georgia. When you can't see in the dark, you need infrared radio.
Alright, so you think you're ready? Okay, then you say this with me, go. We were born for this. We're born for this. Alright, so you think you're ready? Okay, then you say this with me, go. We were born for this. We're born for this. We were born for this. We're born for this. We were born for. We were born for.
And welcome to Infrared Radio here on the PGP Radio Network. I am the G-Man, and that is Deb. She's waving. Hey, never fear, we're not doing any audio tonight. Hey, your mic muted.
I'm kind of doing something crazy right now, which I will talk to you about in just a second. I'm almost done. I'm involving you in it, sorry, Greg.
Awesome. I like to be involved. Hey, we were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about tonight, but a couple things actually hit me while we were thinking about it. I'll take the shades off. I don't know why I was doing that. I was being stupid. I have my shades on. I saw a story on Facebook. It was like Wednesday or Thursday. The U.S. government is paying people to go live in this actual haunted ghost town. They'll pay for food, lodging, utilities, and all this and whatnot. And I didn't really get into the ifs, ands, or buts and whatnots about the entire story. But it was freaking crazy. I was like, okay, I'll go. You know what I mean? You guys are going to pay for it. Guess what? I'm there. But I thought that was pretty cool. And one of the other stories that I saw, and I'll see if I can't find and give you guys the particulars on that first story. The second one, there's a guy in, I think it was Germany, who's rebuilding a prototype Titanic and is planning on sailing it across the big pond, like in 2018, I think it was. I don't know. It's like pretty cool. I don't know that I don't want to get on that because I think in a past life I went down on a boat somehow, some way, some kind of past life deal. But who knows? But the thing is, I don't want to get on a boat, and I don't know that I would do that. But
I'm like that about going over bridges. You know it,
Yeah.
and I always think I'm gonna, and it's only bridges that over water.
yeah,
Because I think I'm gonna drown, and I think I drowned in another life.
right. But I wonder sometimes about those particular things because we've had this discussion. The wife and I have had this discussion before about going on a cruise, and I don't want to. She wants to, but to be quite honest, it scares the living crap out of me. I mean, it really does.
I know what you mean. I want to go on a cruise. My husband doesn't, but yet it really does kind of freak me out because, like when I fly over the ocean, like when I went to England, when I went to Brazil, I would have nightmares for weeks before, and it would be that the plane crashed in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
And the nightmare was that I was still alive.
Oh crap!
Yeah, the nightmare was I was still alive and that I was like floating in the middle of the ocean in the pitch black
Right.
of nowhere, hanging on some kind of debris, and things would like brush by my legs, and I couldn't see nothing around me, and I mean that was the nightmare.
Right.
I mean, I wished I would have died.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I love the ocean. I'm drawn to the ocean. And eventually, Deanna, my wife, and I, we're going to live. For you guys who didn't know, my wife's name is Deanna. we're going to move, and I will live somewhere close to the ocean. Wow, that's a cool microphone.
I'm sorry, my camera just took a nosedive.
Hey, before she's at work right now, she'll be coming home. You'll hear the dogs go back crap happy to see her. But I'm having some weird things going on in this house. I told you before I thought it was haunted, right?
Yeah, how old is it?
It was built in 1930, but I think this is a secondary structure on this land. Honestly. It's hard to explain. The dog
Yeah.
will go out the back and out on the porch and take him out back to go potty and, come back in. And he gets stuck by the back door. And he's scared to go past the refrigerator, which right past the refrigerator is the basement door. And I have to, I swear to God, I have to literally drag his ass from that door through the kitchen. And he's got a bad leg anyway. I don't know if it's dysplasia. I don't think necessarily. I just think he sprains it because of this. It's all wood floor and all linoleum. And he can't. It's not healing for him because every time he gets excited, he wigs out and he pulls it or he slips and falls and it hurts him again,
Yep, I went through that with my labs when we went and got laminated floor all over the place.
Yeah.
Poor things. I actually tried to buy some shoes for them to keep them from sliding and breaking their legs,
Do those work?
A little bit. As long as they didn't get too rambunctious, and then they'd flip them off. And they walked kind of weird in them at first, but after they realized that they could run on the floor with them, they were all about it.
Yeah.
But now we have carpeting.
Right.
We reverted back. Woo.
But when we moved, we're moving to a place that's got mostly carpet because he's got to get better. I mean, he's a pit bull, and even on the 3 legs, the damn dog is strong. I mean, I could put a sled behind him in the snow, and I bet money that he would drag me. And I'm a big boy.
Pit bulls are beefy.
Yeah, well,
they're not big, but they're just all muscle. And like my lab is muscle.
Yeah, there's no fat on this dog, but he's growing into his frame. I mean, I saw a picture on Facebook yesterday, and I showed Deanna last night. It will be Sammy when he grows up. I mean, he was just a stout. He wasn't fat. He was just muscular and big floppy ears and long tail because I don't crop.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, but he's freaked out, and the cat like spazzes out, like cats do anyway though. And he's running all through the house, and he'll jump up on my chest, but he'll look over my shoulder. All right.
Have you tried any of your equipment?
No.
Set some stuff up?
Well, I got some EVPs from the house, but I mean, I could go out onto the front porch. I could go out into the middle of the street. I could go out to the Walmart. You know how that is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I walked in to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom door is closed all the way. I don't close the bathroom door because I have the kitty box in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The light was on. And this afternoon. I walked out of the kitchen. I was almost positive the light was off. I went back in there. The light's on. Silly little crap like that. I mean, it's nothing that would make me like pack up right now and break a lease. But I mean, little things like that. I hear footsteps sometimes, and But it is what it is, and it's just kind of like wow.
Yeah, most stuff don't scare me, but it intrigues me, and the more things happen, the more I want to see. The more I want to egg it on and say, come on, do some more.
Well, I mean, I got a little pissy this afternoon because the dog was doing that, and it just came out. I was just leave my dogs alone, man. I mean, obviously you're here messing with him. Just leave him alone. He's just a pup. His leg hurts. Just leave him alone. And I don't know. And sometimes that worked at the other house that we lived at when we were down in Indy in Franklin. At 3:30 in the morning, the dogs are barking at the corner of the ceiling. And
that's crazy.
And I would say, leave the dogs alone. It's 3:30 in the morning. People are trying to sleep, dude. Leave them alone.
Dude.
Right? and not 10 minutes later, the dogs would be asleep.
My cat's been acting all spastic the last few days, more than normal. Yeah, and I don't know what his problem is. He acted like there was something in the corner and was like acting all crazy like he does when he sees a little red dot, from the laser pointer. So I went over there and looked, and I thought maybe there's like a bug or something there, although I don't know what kind of bug on the planet could survive this stupid cold. I mean, it was 3 degrees this morning.
Right, I heard that.
But there wasn't anything there, and I said, what is your problem, dude? And he took off running across the living room floor, and he stopped mid-stride, right in the middle of the hallway, stopped like he ran into a wall that wasn't there, turned around and looked at me like all crazy eyes, and turned back around, ran the other way, and I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with this cat? And I thought, ooh, it's kind of creepy. Something's creepy.
Crazy eyes.
I like creepy. But, and so I'm sitting in, I go to my office and I sit down, right, for a minute, piddle around, and my office desk butt up against the window, up the side window of the house, side house, where there's really nothing here on the side except the other house across next door. I got 4 security cameras on the monitor in front of me here, but none of them is aimed at my window. I got another camera on another system aimed at my window.
Right.
So I kind of like get on there and peek and just make sure. For some reason, I don't know why, last night I kept feeling like somebody was in my space all flipping night.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cat just spooked me or what.
Yeah, I don't feel too odd. I mean, I'll be sitting here at the desk and I'll feel like somebody looking at me through like from the dining room into my desk, because I might, like, right back here is the dining room, and I'll look, and I sometimes get a little funny and I wave, hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Take your ass on up the road, but
I get all puffy and be like, what do you want?
yeah,
If you're not going to just manifest yourself here and just talk to me, then go away, because ain't nobody got time for that.
ain't got time to play.
Because I ain't scared.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, it's not even that. Oh, you sent that to me, okay?
I did. I sent that to you, so you can do it too. But anyway,
it doesn't necessarily scare me, and they seem to leave Deanna alone.
you know what? Nothing. I'm sorry, but really, as far as this stuff is concerned, paranormal stuff, UFO stuff, any of that, none of it really scares me. Trust me, I had my share of scare back in the 80s, and I was young, and I've seen so much and realized so much, I don't really get scared much anymore, for real.
Yeah. Now, do they?
I'm more scared of people,
Yeah.
frankly.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
Oh yeah, I already told her somebody comes in here, I'm gonna shoot him.
Shoot 'em.
Oh, I ain't playing. I got 17 bullets that say you're not getting out of the house. But anyway,
I got a Saturday night special, a 9mm Glock, and 2 rifles that say you ain't getting out of this house.
I like my Glock. I got a little tack light and laser pointer on the end of it.
Oh, that's professional.
I'm business. I am business.
You mean in business there,
Right?
ain't you?
You ain't gonna steal nothing out of this house. If the dogs don't get you, the bullets will.
Oh.
But do they mess with the old man? Do you think he just doesn't pay attention to it? Does it doesn't faze him? Does it not? Because the wife is under the don't ask, don't tell policy.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I mean, she'll listen to our evidence and look at our pictures and stuff, and that's as far as it goes. I mean, she's been on one investigation at Prospect Place with us, but that was because her friend went with.
Well, he's not interested in going with me on an investigation. It isn't that he doesn't believe that some of the stuff is, feasible.
Right.
He's listened to some of my EVPs and been mildly intrigued.
Right.
He's more interested in the UFO stuff, and I don't think he's had any experience UFO-wise, but he has seen things in the sky.
Right.
And there's been many times over the last 21 years where he has come running in from outside in the dark going, come here, I think it's a UFO. And he'd go outside, and I'm the one that says, no, that's probably a satellite. I look at my thing and I'm trying to be real calm and rational. I'm the one with the experience.
Right.
But he did tell me, I think he's had a couple of what would be classified as paranormal experiences. I think he said one time he saw Jesus, and he wasn't lying. He thought he was going to die, and he said Jesus came to him, and he changed his life and his way after that happened, and he lost like 180 pounds and kept it off. He was very heavy as a child. And so, he's had some paranormal experiences, but I don't think he's had any experiences to the extent that I have had. Obviously, when I met him, you know who I am, Greg.
Right.
You know my background, with the UFO stuff, and the UFO community is pretty familiar with my family, thanks to Bud Hawkins and Intruders.
Right.
So, I'm no stranger to strange. But, I'm a human being, and I have a life just like everybody else, and I just want to be normal. I never asked for any of this stuff to happen, so I've just had to kind of roll with it. And one of the things I've always, everybody wants somebody. Everybody wants a boyfriend or a girlfriend, wants to get married, and all of that. But how do you explain something like what I've lived with somebody who's really never had the experiences? I have no clue as to how I managed to get myself married so many times. Obviously, it wasn't always the best idea, but when I met Dave, after a couple of days, I thought, dang, I really like this guy. I better not get too attached, because I might have to tell him about this crazy stuff. So, I gave him Bud's book.
Yeah.
I gave him Bud's book. First I gave him Missing Time, and then I gave him Intruders. And I said, read this one first and then read this one. I said, this book is about me and my family. And he looked at me like, what? I'm like, yeah, just read it. And then you can ask me questions later if you still want to talk to me.
Right.
Give me a call. And he's like, okay. So, a week passed, and I didn't hear from him. I'm like, well, dang, I like that one, too. I could almost see the skid marks, you know what I mean, as he took off into the sunset. And I thought, well, got to move on, His loss, huh? But then the phone rang one day, and it was him. And I'm like, oh, my heart starts pounding out of my chest. And he's like, well, I said, well, did you read the books? And he goes, oh, yeah, I read them. And I thought, oh, here we go.
Right.
He's just called me to tell me what a flippin' nut I am. And I said, well, what do you think? And he said, well, I don't really know you that well, but I feel like I know you well enough to know that you're not crazy. And I don't believe you're a liar. So the only other alternative that I have is that there might be something going on, and I'd like to know more. And I'm like, score! Yay! And now here we are, 21 years later.
Right.
We'll be married 21 years in April the 8th, so what, a couple of month and a half.
Right.
So, I got lucky. He really didn't have, like I said, he hadn't been involved in much UFO or paranormal stuff, but he maybe saw a couple strange things. He's very smart. Mm-hmm. He's very intelligent, and I got to tell you, in all the years that I've been involved in paranormal, whether it be as an experiencer or a researcher or traveling around the circuit giving lectures or whatever, most of the people that I meet who are interested and involved in this stuff are the smartest people that I know.
Yeah.
Most people are highly, highly intelligent. Really, there's nuts out there, for real, for true, But I can, seriously, I can count on just the two hands in 35 years. Not even two hands. The genuine, truly disturbed people that I've met. Everybody else has, been fantastic, and I've been very blessed. But a lot of people, just smart people. You're smart. You're a smart guy. I align myself with smart people.
Idle.
Shut up, boo.
I think when Deanna and I had been married for maybe just over a year, and my grandfather died, and that night, I'm laying there in the bed, and it was like somebody kicked the bed or pushed the bed or lifted the bed and dropped it a little bit. I was the only one in the house. We didn't have a pet.
Mm-hmm.
And I started getting interested in it at that point. Well, I guess it was July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It was 8 months after that we got married is what it was. And by the following November is when I started that first team. And I told her, we had a conversation about it. I'm like, look, this is what I plan on doing. And for people who don't understand ghost hunters, investigators, ufologists, we're not Satan worshipers.
No.
Just saying. But that was the first question that my mother-in-law asked her.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? And I told her, I said, no, not at all. But this is my experiences. And, the house that we lived in Indy, when I lived with mom and pops, it was haunted. It was haunted by a lady that I worked with at the Osco drugstore in high school. It was her house that mom and pops bought.
Oh,
She was in the house. I would find little, pictures of her randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And all that combined into one, that's what prompted me to go, okay, I need to start looking and figuring stuff out. And one thing I gotta say, it's easy to try to classify what it is that you do as an individual investigator, because you hear a lot of people saying, well, we go with the scientific aspect of it. Oh, well, I'm a skeptical believer. I got to call BS on skeptical believer stuff, too. But it's kind of funny, because after doing it for so long and sitting back and listening to those types of people talk, it's like you're missing the entire point of being an investigator. You can look at it to a certain degree. You've got to look at a phenomenon and go, okay, what caused this? Is there a possible, tangible reason that this happened? Okay, no, I can't even recreate it. Guess what? That's paranormal. Whether it is a ghost, aliens, crypto, anything. And it kills me that people trying to classify themselves as a specific type of investigator when all you need to do is go out and try to get evidence. And the skeptical believer thing, I've been crying about this for, however long I've been on air doing this. You can't be a skeptic and believe. It's kind of redundant. At some point in your life, you had an experience that made you believe. It can't just be for the scientific aspect of it. Because if that's the fact, then you wouldn't be out here in the field with me investigating. You would be in a lab somewhere trying to prove. But what's funny is when you start talking with these people and you start showing them, and I've had this happen, showing evidence. I've had someone blue in the face telling me there's no such bullshit like that. That just is no, rah, rah, rah. I showed him the picture from Mansfield. The Shawshank, for you people that don't know, that aren't into the ghost hunting thing, where the prison that Shawshank Redemption took place in, that's Mansfield, Ohio. And it's ORC is the actual Ohio Correctional Facility or some kind of. And I had a picture. And before it was a prison, it was a Civil War encampment. And I have a picture of a Civil War officer and his family standing in this cell area. I mean, you can see the little boy leaning against the pole. You can see him. You can see his wife holding a baby. So I don't know what happened that they were there, you know. But I could also see an inmate sitting through the wife, sitting on the rack behind them. So I showed this picture, and it's out on my Facebook page, facebook.com/cablegd. If you guys want to go out and take a look at it, look for the Mansfield, Ohio pictures. They're all out there. But the person I showed it to, you know, was giving me guff about it. Oh, blah, 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 blah. What is that? I mean, just that quick was, what is that? Well, you know, that's that. He's like, holy crap. And after that, you know, when you're shown evidence like that, perfect example, the residential that we did in Kokomo with the full body apparition.
Yeah. That video, that was crazy.
That was, oh, I'm sorry, honey. I locked the screen door. Whoops.
Way to go.
Oopsie.
Hi, Dee.
Deb said hi, honey. She's in the, she can't hear. She's probably in the potty. And then that was a crazy investigation in itself. I mean, we got some EVPs, but I think for like one of the only investigations that I have ever been on that I gotten more visual than I did audio.
Yeah, like, and you know, the video is amazing, but I came across the other day when I was looking at the CD of the photos from that investigation.
Yeah.
We got some good pictures of something trying to manifest itself over somebody else sitting on the couch. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, it would look
It
Native American.
morphed her face. One lady sitting on the stairway, her face was actually morphed. And you could see this manifesting over her face. It looked like a witch's face morphed over this woman's face. It's just... the stuff we got from that investigation was awesome.
Yeah, what I thought you were going to say was where the guy was sitting down on the couch, and it looked like the Native American was imposed over his body because it was head and shoulders bigger than this guy.
Yeah, quite a
and
bit
you could
bigger.
see that his shirt wasn't on. You could see he had a top knot. And that was one of the I mean, it was amazing to me that, for all intents and purposes, that everything that I saw was that there was a Native American sitting there on that couch. And she did a lot of antiquing. So she brought a lot of things into her house that had a lot of attachments on it. And that's, primarily where she was having her problem for you guys listening and watching here on YouTube and Ustream. But, yeah, I mean, it was just, that was really good, but man.
Pretty much. I mean, that is probably one of the best investigations I've ever been on. And the audio, the EVP that I got of her grandmother calling her name, this woman had a very unique name, one that you don't hear every day, one that if you were to use a voice box or some kind of hack shack would not likely to be a name that pops up in the mix.
Right.
And not only that, but the woman actually positively ID'd the voices out of her grandmother who had just passed away, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If you can't look at this kind of stuff and not think something's out there, then you're just as closed-minded. I mean, anybody that believes in 100% in something so much, they're just as closed-minded as somebody that doesn't believe in anything. And you got to find that middle ground where anything is possible, but you will do all your best to get all the facts as best you can. I mean, we know that we collect our data as well as we can do it. We try to do it clean.
Right.
We try to make sure, we take care about outside noise.
Right, and you know
what I mean? Things like
running around
that.
outside screaming and hollering, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to make it as controlled an environment as possible.
Right. Hey, look at us. We're on YouTube. What?
Ta-ta!
So, I got to thinking, we were talking about, the pictures and the video aspect. I was with you when I saw my first actual apparition.
Really?
Sitting center stage at the Crump Theater.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was an
place.
awesome place.
Yeah.
It stunk down in the basement. I never went down in the basement. I was like, nah, y'all fools can go down there. I'm not going down there.
That's where we got the EVP down there. We were all pulling chairs up there's under the stage in the basement were the dressing rooms for the actors, and we were in one of the dressing rooms, and we had pulled some old chairs up, and we're going to sit in a circle in the dressing room and do an EVP session. And we started the recorders before we started the session. We had multiple recorders in different parts of the room, you know what I mean? And well, I put one of the chairs up to sit down, and you could hear me move in the chair, and then I go to sit down, and you could hear this voice just clear as a bell, and an electronic sounded voice. It reminded me of the same way my grandfather used to sound. He had throat cancer many, many years ago, and he had a hole in his throat, and he would put a microphone up to his throat hole and speak through that, so he sounded like a robot, and it used to scare the hell out of us little kids. That's why he always came visiting with a pocket full of circus peanuts. He figured if we gave us candy, we wouldn't run away.
Right.
But poor Grandpa, we were mean to him. But anyway, I go to sit down, and you hear this voice it's like she's leaning into the microphone. And it was only in one of the recorders. It didn't show up on any of the other recorders that were running in the room, just mine. Right. And it said, that's my seat. And I didn't, obviously we didn't hear that before. And when I was listening to going over through the data to review the audio, and I heard that, I liked to crap myself. I got on the phone and called Jason immediately called him, and I'm like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. This is... Oh my God, I got to say something. Did you just see a shadow go by my head?
No, I was looking for an EVP.
All right. Well, we'll have to check the video later. If anybody happened to see that, I'm sitting here and I'm looking down at my dark desk, and I'm talking, and there's this camera high, and I see the monitor there. And it felt like a shadow just floated above my head. I mean, it made my desk different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I look, okay.
No,
I ain't scared, I'm just saying. Did you see anything?
I ain't scared.
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
I'm trying to find.
Hell, at my age, I know more dead people than alive. Shoot, it'd be like a high school reunion.
Oh, good God.
Because, I ain't no spring chicken.
Well, you ain't, but as old as I am.
I'm older than you, bro.
No. Nope.
Okay, do you see my camera keeps like it's
fading in and out. It's trying to focus.
Why is it doing that?
I have no idea.
Because it didn't do that before. No one's touching it. Hi.
I don't know.
All right, then.
Oh, man, I'm going to be really upset if I lost that EVP.
What EVP?
The hello, everybody.
Which one? Why does my camera keep... Y'all are seeing that, and ain't nobody touching it, and I ain't moving. So, somebody's trying to focus in on me really well. Maybe I'm hacked. Maybe I've been hacked. Get a little closer, hacker man.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
Do you have it by chance?
Have what?
The hello, everybody. The one we did over in Franklin Township.
Where in Franklin?
The blonde, Angie's friend.
Oh, you mean that came over the walkie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Hang on.
I'll let you.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. I wanted everybody to hear that. I mean, this, and I'll set it up a little bit. This EVP was taken at a residential investigation that we did.
What?
It was break time, and So I think I was still smoking then, actually. So I went outside. Parker went outside. The boys went outside with me. And I think you and two of the boys. One of the boys stayed in with you in the kitchen. And all the walkie-talkies, when we had 8 walkie-talkies there that night. And they were all laying on the countertop. And it started doing a little static. You can hear Deb go, what was that? And out of nowhere, here comes this EVP. And the thing was that, people say, well, it could pick up frequencies from another, somebody was on the same channel and whatnot. We run all of our walkies on the same channel. And only one of the walkies keyed off. It was pretty amazing, actually. I got Bobby Mackey's Music World.
I know. I just ran across Bobby Mackey's too.
That was a good investigation too.
Uh-huh.
They say portal to hell. Don't believe it. There's paranormal stuff there, but it's not near as crazy as what.
No, I don't think it is either.
Some particular shows tried to make it out to be.
I know. I just want the money. Daggone it. Hold on now. It's taking me a minute to find these. What was her name?
Yeah.
Or Nikki, was it?
No.
Daggone it.
What was her name? It was that one place.
You might like that one place, that one time in Bandcamp. Files.
What was, I don't know, but Angie Parker got a really good picture in the bathtub. She took 2 pictures back to back. In the first, you can see eyes and a figure of something looking back at her. And in the picture right after it, there wasn't nothing in it. I thought that was pretty decent capture. But, yeah, that wasn't Kathy.
I can't, gone it? What the hey? It was Kelly, right?
Kelly, yes.
Yeah, and I've got the investigation here. And I have audio, and I have EVP clips. I have yours. That's interviews. Those are.
Oh yeah, we were doing the interviews.
Banging, hey, mail, nice.
I was running.
I don't have it. Where'd it go?
It should be titled like "Hello." It came with my EVPs. But yeah, I was running my mouth like usual, and we're telling her a little bit about what we did and kind of our background. And I heard something behind me go, "Hey, psst," and kind of freaked me out for a minute. It was like, "Wait, what?"
And I'm not seeing the clip. I bet I have it, but I'm not seeing it. Let me see if I can see it on the DVD.
I hope so. That was the dog.
Because I'm not seeing it for. That's the roads.
The Roads was a pretty decent place too.
Yeah, I'd like to go back.
Yeah, I would too, but wait. I can't. I'm 600, almost 700 miles away from it. What was really cool, I'll tell you guys about the Roads too. A buddy of mine who came out on an investigation with us, Jason. I talked to Jason. He's doing really well, going back to school to get his master's in art. He was downstairs on the computer after our break, and he said, "I'll be up in just a second." I'm like, "All right, cool." So we went on ahead and came upstairs and started getting our stuff squared away to get ready for the next EVP session and pictures and all that. And all of a sudden, I hear Jason go, "Greg, can someone come and get me? I'm pretty freaked out right now." And right when he said that, you hear a little girl's voice go, "Freak out, dun 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 dun." and that was all that you heard. And he said he saw little legs or heard little feet patter by his head when he heard that. He was kind of shook up about that for a minute. You know, he's like, I've never witnessed anything like that before. He said.
Here we go.
I don't know if I can be able to hear it from your end. No, the audio is not piping through on my end.
Okay.
Go ahead and fire it to me over on Skype.
Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure this is the right one.
But that was pretty cool. Deb and I were in the, what they call it, if you guys get a chance to go to the Rhodes Hotel or look them up on Facebook, they're in Atlanta, Indiana. Check it out, and if you guys can go up there and do an investigation there, I don't think you would be disappointed. Apparently, the guys that were staying there have moved out, and somebody else is in there now.
Really?
Yeah. I heard that. I heard that CD wind up. That was funny. Air can't. Oh, wait, here it comes. Let's see if I can get this in here. Here we go. Yeah. All right, check us out, people. I'm going to mute my mic so you can... Oh, I got it right there. So you guys can hear it and get a drink of water. I'm getting a little parched here. But here we go.
Why is the walkie going off right now? I got goosebumps! Why is the walkie going off right now?
You got goosebumps, and it's been 2 years since we've been there.
I know I got goosebumps listening to it again because I'm like Greg said, okay, this was like a $12 walkie-talkie without maybe a 1 or 2 mile radius. It was 3 o'clock in the frickin' morning. We were out on the southeast side of Indy, way kind of out from town in a fairly lightly populated neighborhood. I mean, it wasn't like in the city. Okay?
No.
There is no possible way that there would be a child that age at 3 in the morning playing on a walkie-talkie listening to us.
And
that close. There's no way.
Right.
The only thing close enough to us was the graveyard.
Right. And my argument was, you know, it only keyed off on one mic, on one walkie. All the other walkies are set to the same frequency. So, yeah, I'm on board. I mean, there's not going to be, you know, a kid up that young, that late.
And I had another clip. I had another clip on there of that walkie was going weird. You could hear a child talking, but we couldn't make out what they were saying.
There was a man's voice overlaying it, though, wasn't there?
Huh?
There was a man's voice on that as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, let me see if I can get that DVD back up. And
their bedroom was, it smelled like somebody had been chain smoking in there for 40 years.
Yeah.
And neither one of them smoked in the bedroom. And even where they did smoke, I think it was out back. Was it out back, or did they smoke at all?
Angie did.
No. I mean, when we were...
Oh, no. No, none of them did.
Yeah, I mean, and it smelled like an ashtray.
Yeah.
All right, here's this, the child voice on the walkie.
I should be able to hear you. Say again? Can you repeat that?
See?
I should be able to hear you. Say again?
somebody was trying to talk to us. And like I said, was nobody, there's nobody around.
Right.
And the weird thing was, the next day, the tornado hit my house. And I almost got killed.
That was the next day.
This was recorded on November 16, 2013, and on November 17, 2013, my home was direct hit by a small low F3, high F2 tornado. Took a direct hit. I was in the house when it hit, and it was messed up bad, but I wasn't hurt. I lost everything, my husband and I lost everything. Our animals did not die, thank God.
Right.
But yeah, that was the very next day.
Wow.
But I get goosebumps when I hear this voice over the walkie. Angie looked at me, the mic started keying. And I'm like, who's keying their mic?
Right.
Because and then we realized, oh my God, all 4 of the walkie-talkies are sitting right here.
Right.
Nobody's keying any mic. What in the hell? And then, because it was the end of the investigation, we were winding down, we were ready to start rolling in the cable and pack it in for the night.
Right.
And this is when this happened. And always, you're wore out after a long night and not much happens, and then all of a sudden at the very end when you're ready to go home, it stops popping.
Right.
And then you can't leave.
Exactly.
Dang it.
That was a good reveal, because I think they were surprised to see and hear the stuff that we got for them. Now there's been, there's a lot of drinking and him-hawing going on while we were doing the reveal. Not the investigation, the reveal. But that's not the first time that something like that's happened to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. It was just
and that little voice, hello everybody.
It was just that one mic is what really or that one walkie that just kind of really threw me.
I looked at Angie and her mouth hit the counter.
Right.
Yeah, because it only came out of the one walkie.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell?
Well, see, Angie gets excited about that, and I
don't blame her. You know
right.
what? I've been on some investigations where some investigators, some of them believe that it's unprofessional when you get excited, and you shouldn't say out loud whatever you heard or saw, and you shouldn't talk about it, especially around the client, but around other investigators. And I'm like, really? We're human beings, and we're here for a reason. We're here to find things. We find things. It's like eureka.
Right.
So
every team has a different way of doing things, and that's okay.
Whatever rocks your boat, but that's that's not my style. I'm all about sharing and caring.
Well, I remember the very first DVP that I ever got. I went to Step Cemetery in the Morgan Monroe State Park, and Angie was with me. And I think Tyler, a friend of ours, his boy was with us. And we were out in this old cemetery, like 1800s cemetery. I think the latest that anybody had been buried there was like 93, 94. And the only reason they were buried there was family plot, his military. But I walked to the back of, and the story is at this place that there's a mother holding her child, weeping because the child died, car accident, something like that. I can't remember. But I walked back to the back of the cemetery, and I happened to look down, and there's these two plots, and they're side by side, and there were old women names like Ethel and Myrtle or some kind of crazy stuff like that. And it was fall, and there were leaves everywhere but on top of their graves. Okay. And I'm doing this EVP session trying to, hey, blah, blah, blah. And,
hey, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And I hear on the playback after I do the analysis on it was an old woman's voice saying, "Get out of here." That was my very first. And I remember Colin Parker. And it was probably 8:30, 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to hear this. I'm trying to play it for her. She's like, I'll be over in a minute. And she did. She come over and listened to it. And, but yeah, it's amazing to get some stuff like that.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's why I do this. This is why I do it.
No.
You know, I just want to open people's minds to, you know, there's so much more to life and to this world that we live in than meets the eye. And people get so wrapped up in their daily lives that they fail to see the things that happen right in front of them. And, you know, like I said, I know more dead people than alive at this age in this part of my life. I really started getting interested in it, you know, after I started losing people close to me, like my parents and friends and spouses and things. And it's like, what I wouldn't give to, number one, hear their voice one more time, or hear something from them one more time.
Right.
And what kind of comfort would I have to know that they still exist somewhere and they're still happy and they could still connect with me.
Yeah.
And how differently would so many people live their lives if they did not have to be afraid to die anymore?
Right.
I don't mean reckless retardedness like going out, jumping up in front of trains and things like that, but I mean to take chances and risks in your life and to just not have that fear. Some people have a fear of dying that cripples them. What if you didn't have to feel that fear anymore, because we don't really die?
Right.
You know, the death is just a doorway, and sometimes the door gets cracked open a little bit. You know what I mean? Did that just slam the door for you? What?
Sound effects.
Oh my God, really?
Hell yeah.
But you know, seriously though, I mean, how differently would people live there? I know I live my life differently. I mean, I feel freer and not so weighted down with fear and anxiety because I don't worry about dying, because none of us gets out of here alive. But you know what I mean? I don't worry about it because I know it's just a change. It's just one door closing and another one opening. That's all.
That is true. That is true.
And so part of what I do is to hopefully help comfort other people, just like we had those people that come, the people that we did that one house in Beech Grove when I was with, and you know, and they got a lot of closure and comfort. And they recognized these voices. Some of these voices they actually recognized as family members, and like Astrid recognized her grandmother.
Right.
You know, what kind of that? What a wonderful blessing and gift that is. You know. And I wanted to ask you before we run out of time on this subject of talking to dead people, sort of in a roundabout way, anyway. There's a new kid on the block. His name is Tyler Henry. Have you seen him?
No, I have not.
I mean, he's like Teresa Caputo on steroids.
Oh, really?
Oh, gee. This boy has got it going on. I mean, he's got a show now, obviously. You know, so he's kind of, well, he's famous, I guess, now. I guess you call him a public figure. That's what Facebook calls him, but he's like 19 years old, and he doesn't drive. His mother drives him to these places, and he doesn't know who he's going to see. I mean, he's like the psychic to the stars.
Oh, okay.
But and I don't, you know, only fate knows how that happened. But and I don't think he really understands it fully himself. But so anyway, his mother drives him to these things, to these meetings, and these people's homes, and they're all celebrities. And some of them are somewhat skeptical. Hey, I don't blame skeptics for being skeptical until you've experienced some of this stuff. It's very, very hard to really wrap your head around it.
Right.
And but when he walks in and he meets them, he's so dang young, hell, he still don't even know who some of them are.
Right.
But when he starts getting things before he even gets there in the car on the way, and he does a lot of the same things Sherry does, my little sister. And he scribbles when he writes, but I mean, when he talks to people, he's scribbling on a pad of paper, but he's not necessarily writing anything down, he's just releasing energy.
Yeah.
And he gets different ways, he feels things, sensational feelings, like in the chest or whatever. He hears things, he sees things in his mind's eye. And then he's left to interpret some of this on his own, and over the years, he's figured out what certain things mean, and that's how most mediums like this operate. That's pretty standard operating procedure. And even I'm not psychic like that, but I've had moments, and so I understand what he says. When he's talking about how things come to him, and he actually, I've seen him do a couple readings on TV, and he literally, like, all of a sudden he'll break out in a ridiculous sweat. I mean, he'll just be dripping with sweat, and the person he's sitting there reading, they fine, they chill, and his cheeks will flush and his chest will flush, and once the spirit who's trying to come through has been successful, his physiological response stops. The sweating stops. The flushness goes away. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I've had some slight physical reaction to certain psychic things. Sherry has, and most people that do that do, but this guy is amazing. You gotta watch his show sometime, catch him, maybe you can get him on the internet. The show is on E! And it follows the Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh, good God.
I'm just saying, don't judge him by that. And but he's really, I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to sit down and talk to this child, and I don't care about whether he has anything to say to me about the dead people around me, because frankly, I hear them myself. But I want to know his process, and I want to know how old he was when he figured this out, and how he dealt with it, and I want to know things like that. It's amazing, and he's 19. His name is Tyler Henry, Tyler. You got to check him out, for real.
We'll have to check him out.
Definitely. Yeah. It would be great to have him on the show someday. Someday when we're really big and famous and we're on...
Send that feeler out.
Serious
all they can do is say no.
Huh?
All they can do is say no. We need to put that feeler out,
Yeah, there you go. He is really amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really, really. But they just keep getting better and better. I mean, I always thought Teresa Caputo was pretty good. Of course, she's heavily edited, but then I'm sure this kid is too, although, I don't know, this kid is pretty... I mean, he does things that I've never seen anybody do before. And I like John Edward, and I like all those people. And my little sister, Sherry Klein, is very, very good.
We need to have her on the show.
No mistake. Yes, we do. Sherry is more like Tyler in that she will name names. Tyler, this boy, he won't be like, okay, so where does the name that starts with a D come in for you? No. This boy goes, who's Moxie? Moxie Rick, who's the guy with the beard and the glasses, and his name is Dave?
Yeah.
I mean, that's this kid, and you're like, huh?
Right.
I mean, he read Snooki. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Snooki?
Jersey Shore chick.
Yeah, the little short chick from the Jersey Shore thing or whatever, and he kept saying, he was like throwing these names at her left and right. She's like, shut up! Stop it! And every time she goes, get out of here!
How did that go again? What did she do?
Get out of here! I mean, the reactions are amazing. These reactions are totally real. I mean, these people they can't be acting that good. There ain't no way.
You guys missed it. I was flipping the screen to the on air. Deb was like,
stop. Gosh, I have great teeth.
Oh my God! Yeah, we need to have your sister on.
Absolutely.
I've got a team in Kentucky that I'm going to try to get on in the next couple of weeks too.
Sweet.
I think the music license, I've got it on the back burner probably until July or August. There's just no getting around it. The way that they jacked up the prices and whatnot.
That's so much money. They need to stop that.
I know, right? Well, there's a petition going out, and write your congressman and all that crap. So
Right.
it out and
I did buy lottery tickets, so cross
sweet.
your fingers.
126 mil.
I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get 117 of it.
Right on.
117 million.
Right on.
Every dream I have, I'm telling you. And I wrote that number down and I stuck it on sticky notes all over the place.
Yeah.
$117 million. I am going to win $117 million. Mark my words.
I would pee myself a little bit, to be quite honest.
I will pee myself a lot. But I figure, and I would almost want to say, ooh, I'll have a heart attack and die, and all my family will be rich. But if I got a house dropped on me in a tornado and I didn't die, there ain't nothing wrong with my heart. Trust me, I will be here for a long time. As long as nobody pushes me out in front of a bus, I'm good.
Now I've got the Wizard of Oz song in my head. Right?
Is that the one?
Yeah,
The one
yep.
with the witch riding the bike? Thanks.
That was the one.
I kind of thought it was.
What? Nothing, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just saying. All right. Check it out, you guys. It's at the top of the hour, and you're listening to WPGP Radio and Digital Broadcasting, Augusta, Georgia, and up in Indy. What with Deb? What?
What? Kokomo. That's where it's at.
Are we sure?
That's
No.
where it's going to be tomorrow, about 5 inches of it. Oh, that just didn't sound good, did it? I'm talking about snow.
Yeah, okay.
All right, then.
Let's see, it's 42 degrees here right now in the CSRA. What's it going to be tomorrow? I just want to rub it in a little bit.
Smarty.
Hey, that's how I roll.
Yeah, I know.
Ah, crud. It's only going to be 45 tomorrow. Aw, and sunny.
I hate you.
No, you don't. But all right, you guys, check back with us. You can check us out on YouTube, Infrared Radio. You can check us out on Ustream. It's still under, no, actually, I did change that. It's Infrared Radio as well. You can check us out on our podcast page. There's an Infrared Radio podcast page. I got rid of the NPR page, moved everything over. Did that last week.
And we're still working on our website. It's a work in progress, but keep coming back because it's going to be awesome.
It'll be there, and we can go and get back to our regular digs. What else was I going to say?
It's 7 degrees here right now, so send me some sympathy.
It's 44 here right now. Sorry.
Whatever.
Let's see, what else? Pod, YouTube, Ustream. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can hit us up at staffnpr@gmail. I think we need to change that. But also you can hit me up at wpgpradio@gmail.com as well, and I'll give you the digs on that too, Deb. But I want to thank you guys for checking us out. Remember, come back next week or check us out on our pod page and all that good video stuff next week as well. You guys have a good weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, bitches.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
You're tuned in to WPGP Digital Radio, Augusta, Georgia. When you can't see in the dark, you need infrared radio. Oops. You've been listening to Infrared Radio here on the PGP Radio Network. Join Deb and Gregg every Saturday night, 9 Eastern Standard Time.